Welcome to INNOVAI. Have you ever wondered how computers learn? No, not that kind of computer, but this one right here. You see, today's computers are super smart. They beat humans at their own games, help doctors see inside the body without surgery, and even write stories that sound straight out of a sci-fi movie. The secret's in the circuits? Billions of tiny switches working together to mimic the human brain. But how do they do it? How do these circuits teach themselves? Well, that's what we're going to find out today. At its core, artificial intelligence, or AI, isn't magic. It's math. Lots and lots of math. Computers use formulas to crunch huge amounts of data and find patterns, kind of like finding Waldo, except with numbers. They spot trends and make predictions based on what they've seen before. Say we feed the computer data about past customers and their favorite colors. Then, when a new customer comes along, the computer can predict their favorite color based on what it's learned from the others. That's called machine learning, where computers learn from experience without being programmed to do so. But how do they get that good at it? Let's look at 3 ways these clever circuits learn. 1. Supervised learning. Imagine a student studying for an exam. The student reads the textbook, listens to the teacher, and practices answering questions. In supervised learning, the computer is the student, but instead of a textbook, it reads tons of data sets, each labeled with the right answer. For example, if we want the computer to learn to tell the difference between cats and dogs, we feed it pictures of both with labels. After seeing enough examples, the computer can accurately identify new pictures of cats and dogs. It's like the student that, after studying all those examples, can confidently answer questions about the material. 2. Unsupervised learning. Now imagine the same student sitting in class. The teacher gives them a big box of Legos and says, "Sort them." The student starts looking for patterns and groups similar Lego pieces together. In unsupervised learning, the computer does the same. We feed it a bunch of unlabeled data and let it find its own patterns. Going back to our Lego example, the computer might group customers based on buying habits or find similarities between DNA samples. It's like teaching a fish to swim by letting it play around in the water. 3. Reinforcement learning. Finally, imagine the student training for a sport. The coach observes and provides feedback, rewarding good performance with a pat on the back or extra practice with drills. In reinforcement learning, the computer learns through trial and error. It takes actions, observes the results, and adjusts based on rewards or penalties. For example, a robot learning to walk. It takes a step, falls over, gets a penalty, adjusts its balance, takes another step, and repeats. With enough practice, it learns to walk just like us. So how does this learning show up in the real world? Everywhere! AI writes text, creates art, powers chatbots, recommends what you watch on Netflix, and even helps doctors detect cancer earlier than ever before. These intelligent machines are becoming an integral part of our lives. Now, you might be wondering, how do these computer brains compare to ours? Well, they're similar in some ways. Both computer and human brains process information in layers. First, we extract basic features like lines and edges in an image. Then we combine them to form more complex ideas like shapes and objects. Finally, we use language to express what we see. Computers do the same, but with numbers instead of words. But there are also big differences. Human brains use 80 to 90 billion neurons, while current computer brains have only about 50 million. Also, neurons connect to each other through synapses, which can change and grow stronger with experience. This helps us learn and remember new things. But current computer connections are fixed. As AI keeps learning and evolving, it raises some big questions. Can machines be creative? Can they have consciousness? And most importantly, how do we make sure AI helps humanity and doesn't replace it? These are tough questions without easy answers. But one thing's for sure, AI is changing the world in big and small ways every day. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a friend who's curious about AI. And let me know in the comments. What's the most exciting or scary thing about AI for you? Thanks for watching. See you next time on INNOVAI.